Hello everybody. Nice to see you here, to be here again with you all. So we're going to do another drum kit lesson now. And in this lesson, we're going to follow on from what we did in our first online lesson. Last week we were looking at the snare drum and adding extra snare drum notes into a very simple rock groove. Today we're going to kind of focus on the bass drum with our foot, okay? So, quickly go through the rhythms we looked at last week. Last week we looked at one, two, three, four. We did that last week. We then added more hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we added extra snare drum beats, where we played 2 snare drum beats on beat number 2. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. Then we added more snare drum. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and then we tried this other beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Okay, so leading on from that, you can check all that out in last week's video, how I broke it all down and we went through every note by note. I'm just quickly recapping now, just so we can follow on from that. So today we're going to start off with a rhythm where we're now going to add an extra bass drum note. Okay, so we start off with 1 on the bass drum, then we're going to do 2 on the snare drum, then we're going to go 3 and on the bass drum, 3 and then we're going to play 4 on the snare drum. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4. 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 Okay? When we add the hi-hat to that, the hi-hat's going to play like it normally does. It's going to play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if I just play the bass drum with that, without the snare drum, just using one hand, just the hi-hat and the bass drum, 1 note on the bass drum on beat number 1, and we're going to play 2 notes on the bass drum on the 3rd beat, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 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 3 and 4. Okay? So you can repeat that, you can try that as long as you want. Keep going over that, get very, very comfortable and secure with that, and that will be nice and easy for you. Now we're just going to take the 2 hands, no bass drum. We're just going to do this. This is fairly standard. The snare drum just plays on 2 and it just plays on 4. Okay, so we've got 1 and 2 and on our hi-hat, and just 2 and 4 on the snare drum. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's fairly handy. So we'll put it all together. Let me remind you, the bass drum plays 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay? And the snare drum, 2 and 4. So bass drum and snare drum together now, just as a combination, is just 1, 2, 3 and 4. can play along with that. When you're watching these videos, you can just play along with what I'm doing all the time, okay? And go back and repeat and watch it as many times as you want to help you get really comfortable with these videos. That's the lovely thing about having a video now, that you can keep coming back and checking on and keep looking and trying to join along, and it'll get easier and easier. You might not be able to do this first time. That's no problem, no problem. Just take your time and just keep repeating and practice. That's how we get better at anything, by practicing it. I'm going to try and put everything together now. So the hi-hat, which will play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and the bass drum 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And the snare drum 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything together goes like this. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 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 4. 4. Okay, so I finished there with a little drum fill. Okay, now my drums here at home are different to the drums we have at school. In school we've got 2 tom-toms up here. I've only got 1. Okay, I've got 1 tom-tom here, and I've got my floor tom down here. So the small tom and the big floor tom. Okay, so this is a smaller drum kit than the one we have in Knockavoe. Okay, so when I'm playing my drum fill, I'm playing Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola T. Okay, so the T I'm playing on the bass drum. T. Coca-Colas are with my hand. Coca-Cola. That's 4 notes. Okay, Coca-Cola. And the T is on the bass drum with my foot. 3, 4. 3, 4. So what I want to do now, we're going to go back and play that rhythm that we've just been learning. 1, 2, 3 and 4 with that double bass drum on the 3rd beat. And I'm going to play that pattern 3 times, and then I'm going to do a drum fill. Doing the same drum fill just to practice it. Try to keep them all equal and even as we go round the drums. We don't speed up as we go around, we don't slow down. We're trying to keep everything the same speed going around. Da 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 da. Okay, so I'm going to play the drum rhythm 3 times through, and then a drum fill. Then I will repeat that, and I'm just going to make a loop of that. I'm just going to keep going around in a circle with that. Okay, so this is something you can join in with as well. Okay, I'll count in so that we can start together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 3. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, Okay, so that's that pattern with a drum fill. So we're getting a little bit more advanced. We're adding in drum breaks now into our rhythms. And I want to show you now an extra note. We're going to add an extra rhythm now. Same idea like we did last week, where we were adding the snare drum notes in different places, adding extra snare drum notes. Today it's all about the bass drum. So the snare drum's only ever playing on 2 and playing on 4. The snare drum's quite straightforward this week. It's the bass drum that's doing all the work. The next rhythm we're going to try now, we're going to add one extra bass drum note to what you've just been playing. So we're going to add that to the very first beat. So when you say 1, we're going to go 1 and. We're going to play 2 bass drums. 1 and. Okay? And we're also going to stick with what we've been doing there, the 3 and. Okay? So the bass drum will be doing this now. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 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 So the 2 and 4 is snare drum. Let's add the snare drum to that. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 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 Okay? And now the hi-hat adds in all those what we call quavers, those 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all these busy notes on the hi-hat. So these quavers are going to be added on top now. So the hi-hat will do what it always does. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? So we'll add the drums and the hi-hat all together. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 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 4. Okay. Now we'll try with the drum fills. We're going to use the same drum fill. Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola tea. Okay? There's plenty in that drum fill to keep thinking about, okay? Alright? Getting that bass drum on the T there at the end, alright? So again, we'll do it the same way. I'll count in. We'll play the drum rhythm 3 times. And then on the 4th bar, we'll do our drum fill, where we go round the drums playing our Coca-Colas and our tea. Okay, here we go. So you can join in with me on this as well. And I'll count in so we can start together. And we'll repeat that. I'll just let this run, okay? So we'll repeat it a few times. So 3 times through the rhythm, 1 bar then where we do the drum fill. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and fill. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. that's our second rhythm with the drum fills. I want to do a third rhythm with you now, today, with this bass drum. And what we're going to do now, we're going to go one and on the first beat like we were just doing, but then on the third beat we're going to play one bass drum note. So it's going to go 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay? The snare drum, again, same as it has been in this whole lesson, it plays on 2 and it plays on 4. So together we get 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 And the hi-hat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're going to put it all together, okay? Here we go, after 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 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 1 and 2, 3, 4, and stop. Now, to finish off, the last thing we're going to do today is do that with drum fills. The Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola tea. Alright? So, here we go, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3. Here we go. And 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, fill. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, fill. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, fill. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. Last time. Here we go. I just had to hit the cymbal there. I've been dying to play the cymbal all day. So, that's our lesson for this week. Okay? I hope that you're finding these useful. I hope everybody is safe and well. And remember, at this time, what are we to do? We have to stay at home and we have to wash our hands. Okay? So make sure you're washing your hands plenty. Alright. Take care and I'll see you soon. Thank you.